sales is the most lucrative skill in the world, period. The problem is most sales advice out there today is outdated, cheesy, and can even keep you from getting the deals that can make all the difference in your career. This is the No BS Sales School, a podcast for entrepreneurs and salespeople who want to master the skill of selling without all the BS. Welcome to the No BS Sales School podcast. Appreciate your listening very much. If you have not already, please write a review for my podcast. I'm over here kind of begging again, but it really helps me expand the people that get to see this. More people listen, more people understand. My goal by the time I retire is to be 50% fewer crappy salespeople in the world, which I know is a very high, lofty goal, but we can get the podcast out there. Maybe we can help move that stuff around, move the needle a little bit as we continue to work through that problem. By the way, y'all have stuck with me for probably another 15 years, so I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So in the past episodes, we have covered, how you're getting screwed by your prospects, mindsets that are important for selling, pre-call plan. How do you plan before your meeting to make sure you don't blow it? Managing expectations when you're in the meeting. We've had several episodes on questioning strategies. And the goal of those questioning strategies, right, is to see if the prospect will admit any problems. We're not just there to find data, how many, how much, but also what they think about their current situation. So we talked about, 4 or 5 different questioning strategies you can use with your prospects to help them kind of figure out what they like and what they don't. Let them figure out and kind of come to a conclusion. Boy, this isn't as perfect as I thought, right? Most people believe that what they have is normal and the treatment they're getting is normal. They don't know what good looks like. It's our job to see if they can admit something they're not happy with. So once you find that out, I want you to realize, though, that problems by themselves are intellectual, right? We're having high turnover. Sales are not where they need to be. Our margins are getting compressed, right? We don't have the right equipment. Whatever it may be, those are problems. Problems are intellectual. People make decisions, however, to make changes. They make them not intellectually. They make them emotionally, right? We human beings are emotional creatures, and that's a good thing. So we've got to help somebody figure out does it make sense just because you have a problem? Does it make sense for you to spend time, effort, money, energy on fixing it with what we have? Here's what I want you to think about. We're not the right fit for everybody. I want you to know that if somebody does not have what I call pain, a personal, compelling reason to make a change, then chances are they're not. Chances are, the more complex, the more trust somebody has to have in you or what you're selling. So if you're selling something like a large software product or a service of some kind that people can't touch and feel, and maybe it's a brand they don't know, or maybe it's something that's a lot more expensive than they thought they were going to, a lot more money they thought they were going to spend, right? Somebody's got to have pain. So what the hell is pain? There are 3 pieces to this, right? It starts with, is there a problem, right? So we start off with the problem, which we've already found from our questioning strategies. And then we continue with that problem to see what are the consequences of that problem. So for example, we're having high turnover. The consequences of that are we're having to spend tons of money to keep people and to recruit people. And we're having a brain drain here. Problems, consequences, right? That's good. But the third step that must be present is, what are the personal impacts of that? We're having high turnover. It's very expensive to find and hire new people. Problem, consequence, what are the personal impacts? If we don't get this fixed, we could be out of business, or it's cutting into our margins so bad, I'm going to have to cut my own salary, right? That's pain. How does it impact them personally? Now, you may say, gosh, you must have to have some deep conversations. And the answer is yes, you do. And you're probably going to be a little bit uncomfortable having these conversations, especially at first, until you realize that you're going through a discovery process with this person. And you're helping them figure out whether or not there really is an emotional, compelling reason to change. This is not manipulation. You do not create pain. You don't cause pain. They've got it, or they don't. But you're helping them figure this out for themselves. If you tell them they've got pain, that's not nearly as important or impactful as them recognizing themselves, shit, this hurts, right? So by going through the process and digging deep enough and having real in-depth conversations, that's how we can make the biggest impact on our prospects. And that's how we can figure out, how much time should I spend here? One of the rules we have around here is no pain, no sale. If there is not pain that your prospect has, chances are the best thing you're going to get, right? The way you'll get a sale is because you're cheaper. The way we can take it off of price, off of terms, sometimes where price becomes irrelevant, is if somebody has pain. Why in the hell do you think? So in the worst period of time in the history of the world to buy a car, I've bought 3. Why? Well, because one, my car that I've been driving for so long kept breaking down. And my pain was, shit, I spent more time in the shop than when I drive it. The joy of driving my old BMW convertible was not worth the trouble. So I had pain. I sold it. Then I had to buy a new car because I was tired of walking to work or getting rides. Right? Had to go do it. Then my son, my wonderful 16-year-old son, he totaled my truck. It's an old truck. He was fine. But however, all of a sudden we got no truck in the family, which sucks. All right. So all of a sudden I got to figure out, how does he get to school? What are we going to do about a truck? And my wife is thinking, he ain't getting a new car. I'm getting a new car before he gets a new car. Well, she's the one I got to please first. Right. So my pain there was, hey, got to take care of her, whatever she wants. She's been driving the same Prius wagon for 10, 11 years. So now she has a new Toyota. Mitchell drives her old Prius, which is very fitting for him. It's hilarious. It's the shittiest. It's not shittiest. It's the best car we have, and we all hate it. Right. And then I got Sally a new Toyota, and I've got basically Toyota, a Lexus GX, right? Was I planning on buying one of those things? No, but somehow it matched what it is I was looking for. So how in the world, okay, Walker, so thanks, tell us about your cars. But I had no intention of buying a car. So now, except for I had pain, right? So now let's talk about how can you find out if your customer has pain. So I stole some stuff from a behavioral psychology method called motivational interviewing. And motivational interviewing, in its essence, is helping, it is a therapist's way to help drug abusers, alcoholics, figure out if they've got enough pain to fix themselves, to figure out if they committed to going through the process of recovery, because that's hard. And there are lots of ways you can fall back. And the only reason somebody would put up with that is if they're committed to fix it. Right? So this is a process, a questioning strategy process to figure out, is a problem pain? So I'm going to give you the 10 questions to ask. And when somebody shares a problem with you, see if you can take them through the 10 questions and see what comes out the other side. So here are the 10 questions, problems stated. And so then you say, tell me more about that. Question number 2, can you give me an example? Question number 3, how long has that been going on, or how often does that happen? Question number 4, what have you tried to do about it? Question number 5, did that work? Question number 6, what do you think that's cost you? Question number 7 is that a big deal? Question number 8 is, what happens if you don't fix it? Question number 9 is, what do you think you ought to do? And question number 10 is, are you open to outside ideas? Right? All along, we are not inserting our opinions. We're asking questions to solicit from them their opinions. If you're doing this the right way, which is without judgment, without any kind of tone in your voice like you're judging somebody, but with a sincere curiosity and maybe even a skepticism that this really is a problem they have to fix. Let them explain to you if it is or not. And if any given point, if you say, yes, is this a big deal? And they say, nope. You say, good, problem solved. And either they'll fight you on it or they won't. Point is, a lot of people get nervous going through this questioning strategy. This salesperson gets nervous because they're like, this isn't my business. I'm digging in way too deeply here. Bullshit. It is your business. It's your business to know what's going on in your prospect's head, to know what's going on in their heart, to figure out, is this something that they're going to make a move on or not, to help them figure out if they should make a move on it or not. Understand, you're not leading somebody. This is not manipulative. You're not leading somebody to do something. You're just figuring out and helping them figure out, does it make sense to do anything? And a lot of times it doesn't. And if they're not going to do anything, when do you want to know? I want to know right damn now. By taking your prospects through this questioning process too, you begin to earn the right to solve the problem. Because oftentimes, if you just jump right in with a solution, you hadn't earned the right. Maybe they've already tried that before and it didn't work. Maybe they're just not ready to hear it yet because they don't feel like you fully understand them. See, the key in sales, right, is trust. And the way somebody's going to trust you is if they think you understand them. And the way that you will know, and the way that they will know you are understanding or trying to understand, is by searching for their opinions about their situation. One way to do that is by using the pain tests, as I've discussed today. No pain, no sale. I'm Walker McKay with No BS Sales. If you've got questions about this or anything else we're talking about today, I'm happy to have a conversation with you. My email is walker@walkermckay.com. Share this podcast with somebody who needs to hear it. Thanks. See you soon.
Thanks for listening to No BS Sales School podcast. If you haven't already, please take 1 minute to write a quick review for the show. It really does make a huge difference. Also, subscribe to the show and please forward this episode to somebody else who needs to hear it. As a bonus for listening, I'm going to give you access to a free mini course, 7 expensive sales mistakes you're making and what you can do about it. Go to www.7salesmistakes.com and get access to the free mini course. That's the number 7salesmistakes.com. Thanks again for listening to the No BS Sales School podcast.